这边有么话是突然的做历史了，原来弄了，你讲了，别这么就少了，但是讲了这边有么东西，弄了嘛这个边不大啊，我一忙的边都走了，你讲了边有么机会，我来讲，我早点早上了就大几边慢慢去拿酒，也不用想，只有那种消费不得把弄那种钱我讲了。
够了，多种。
công ty hay là chia tôi là cái liền thì ba cái liền đó qua bù tròn này nè anh nói chứ thì nó thấy có xịn nó thấy
沿路向导过了，沿路向导过来，路向导过来。
那个叫弯曲的那个是吧？
Oh, I can't see.
chung thì cho tấm lột xưa
那个绳子跟那个是哪个地方？是哪个？是。
啊，跟一样，差不多。
tấm lột xưa
This side, the great big one. That's that's where the Holocaust is at.
รถที่จะมาเชียร์พักตอนวันนี้รถที่เราตัวลงเฉยมองโอ้ยาเยี่ยมชมมาดียาวในที่ลงนอกถ้าเชียร์เขาที่ใหญ่เยี่ยมชม
cho đồ hay á
xí rất đỡ mà.
Một tao được.
North East là C Street North East này nhớ được cô này
Chỉ còn đã lọ.
Dạ mà.
chế sẽ bên cả đồ tròn cho cái o là cho cái y nên là họ
Tại sao bên cả cho lúc cho cái bây giờ?
ok ta mình lên được có bây giờ mình lên nhưng mà ok chế bây giờ cho cái bây giờ nó chế bên một nó bây giờ bên một nó thì sẽ được bên cả sẽ được tốt nè
Cái thằng bên lúc chế là lúc chế từ.
bên cả sẽ cần chế bên một nó thì bên đó
Ở tờ tôi nó to to thì to. Nó to chứ to. Là xin bé tàu sở bé tàu tôi kể cho họ Washington DC nên là lúc building là cho senator là tôi số lúc là tôi trong đó tôi chỉ chạy khó lúc cái chemical nào anh đi bỏ để xa lòng này cho cái tên chăm phong tua xe cái tua cho tua Minnesota, Wisconsin tua Alaska, Arkansas, California, Pennsylvania. Theo bây giờ là họ tua thế cho Washington DC nè, anh đi bỏ này cho cái tên chăm phong rồi. Ít chăm một sao là cho sân độ nó. Bây giờ nó nè. Bây giờ hay là sẽ tao một cái
Ồ, tại sao cũng quan trọng nó nè. Thì tôi muốn gạt ra tận lưỡi không cần à. Phải học nó chụp chụp po thì nó luôn không cần học. Rồi đã chỉ nó.
thì sử dụng xe đâu tuổi à?
Dùng xe thì rồi tôi bảo tết bảo chờ. Bảo nữa tết trước tết và tết chế.
cái món này cũng thay khó hơn cái nào hơn.
And welcome you. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Philip Smith. I'm the Washington director, the executive director for the Center for Public Policy Analysis here in Washington, D.C. I'm also very honored to represent a number of your organizations in the Hmong community. For many years, I was very honored to represent General Vang Pao as a liaison in Washington. And so many of you may know me. I've also been very honored for over 20 years to serve as the liaison and Washington director for the Lao Veterans of America Institute in Fresno and Minnesota and the other states. I just want to welcome all of you to this very important occasion today, and I want to thank the Hmong leaders that are gathered with me. So many of them have traveled so far. I want to thank Chinang Fang. I want to thank Pama Tao. I want to thank Colonel Vang, Tong Vu, Pasart Lee. I want to thank especially the new president of the Lao Veterans of America, Mr. Richard Xiong. We're here today to mark the 40th anniversary of the fall of Long Chang in the Royal Kingdom of Laos. We're here in the U.S. Senate and the U.S. Congress on Capitol Hill. We're here to talk about the history of the Hmong and the Lao people and their struggle, which was Vang Pao's struggle for many years in fighting the North Vietnamese invasion of Laos, the communist invasion, and the fall of Laos in 1975, that long struggle in alliance with the United States military and the United States Central Intelligence Agency. This is the Laos Freedom Ride. You came on airplanes, you came on cars, you came in buses, You have memories of your country that are important to share with these congressmen and these staff. And today I have the good news, because of our work together, because of the leadership of the Hmong community and the Lao community in Minnesota, in California, in Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania, in Arkansas, all across this country. Today in the U.S. Senate, the Hmong Veterans Service Recognition Act will be introduced today in the U.S. Senate because you are here, because of this leadership and because you have come together as a people. Tomorrow, in Arlington National Cemetery, we will be joined by the U.S. military, the U.S. Department of Defense, the Army, members of Congress, Special Forces Association, at the Lao Veterans of America Monument in Arlington to recognize the veterans, the Hmong veterans, the Lao veterans, the U.S. veterans that fought to defend the Kingdom of Laos and U.S. national security interests during the Vietnam War. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Pasar Lee from Alaska, traveling 3,000 miles. Shenang from California, Orange County. Pamatau on a bus for 2 days on a bus. 60 people.
Yes.
Everyone here. We're so happy for your leadership. We couldn't do it without you. And this is really your day. This is your event. And thank you for coming. I don't know if anybody else would like to speak. Feel free. Maybe Shenang or.
Nhờ tục thông tin rằng về sự đầu tiên thôi, cú chế cú luôn về chỉ năng qua cú sự kiện được chỉ thành được phân phát bỏ rồi chỉ thành được phân phát bỏ trên được nó cú nó tụ tôn giờ giờ này sẽ chỉ tao bảo cú tụ khen là cú rong xe tạo giải này cho nhiều cho gì cho tí cho năng cho trái cho phong chế dư số lần số tổ trẻ cú nhau đây nhau gì nữa cú bỏ để về chung lên chung tua đây tua cho tua Alaska tua là mọi cho tua Oklahoma, Alabama, sang California, sang Wisconsin, Minnesota, Rhode Island, ta cũng chỉ là thế mà cũng bao thọ chế của tôi chỉ tao nên lúc lái là cũng bao để một trong là trong tuổi mà vậy còn chưa sinh chấp lời vì khó Rhode Island. Okay, yeah, Wisconsin, sang Wisconsin cũng thứ hai là để rong xe này, cũng rong xe cần gọi để bé sẽ đợi những món xe cũng xe cần gọi, cũng những rong xe hay thì họ bên mong chân gì, lo chân gì, rồi tới khi mình cả nói vậy họ lo hơn, vui những chân xe thì lo những giờ ba bé giờ lần bao bé mong chân gì giờ thằng đấy giờ họ bé sẽ được giờ xe được cho xe rồi giờ bé sẽ được xí sầu với ba bờ liền nào với lúc xóa sức của sai thì lo tên nó tên chữรัฐบาลlo lúc tên lo chơi lòng bé xứ nó là mua từ sẽ cho bé kế nhiều cho bé muốn chơi cho nó cho chơi cũng trong xe cần rồi thọ khó tan rồi bây giờ cho nó cho nó to hết nè mà trong nó sẽ vui chơi hay lần nữa về this is how when you should join and two cent up like need cho nhiều cho chi cho quý cho ti cho nên cho trả số lần sau tuổi trong sức rồi.
And I want to thank General Vang Pao and his family and those honorable sons and family members who have worked now to bring the community back together again. Lao government, communist government, seeks to divide the Hmong in Laos and in America. They want to divide, make Lap Hmong, like Lap Gai, Lap Hmong, divide you. To see you united is very powerful and very happy for my family, my father-in-law, the leadership of New England, and my wife, my beautiful Hmong wife, Lang Mo. And the strength of your families is very important. Vang Pao loved his family. He loved his children. He loved his country. And for you to sacrifice to be here today is very important. I want to just tell you that what you have accomplished here is very important. The U.S. House of Representatives today, Congressman Jim Costa, who will be joining us at Arlington Cemetery tomorrow, will introduce today the legislation in the U.S. House of Representatives to honor the Hmong veterans and to grant them honor and burial benefits at veterans' cemeteries administered by the Department of Veterans Affairs. That is very important. That has brought honor to your community. Now, whether or not it'll pass is up to the Congress of the United States and also up to you and your families. You must go home, you must write letters, you must organize. But while you're here, congressmen and senators would like to talk to you. So we have appointments scheduled. In fact, we have one in about 20 minutes here, back-to-back meetings. We're going to go door to door. And so I want to thank all of you for your sacrifices and the sacrifices of your families to come together here today on this 40th anniversary of the fall of the Kingdom of Laos and Long Cheng. I want to say one last thing. Today was always May 14th, 15th. Because of the time change and because of the fighting, the North Vietnamese attacking Long Cheng, these were the final 48 hours of freedom in Laos. Once Long Cheng fell, once General Phang Pao was evacuated on the 14th, Laos collapsed, the Kingdom of Laos collapsed. And it became a very sad day, a tragic day. Many of you lost your family members as a result of that. And you remember Long Cheng.
Yes.
You remember the beauty of Laos when it was wild and free, when freedom blew in the wind, and no government official told you, I'm communist, I'm telling you what to do, you are my slave, you do this or I will kill you. No, you remember Laos when it was a free country, before the Soviet-backed Vietnamese army destroyed your culture, destroyed your people. And so thank you very much. Wat Chow. Kap Chai Lai Lai. Thank you, and we're going to get to work here. Yes. Mama Chow, of course.
Yeah. Very happy to see you.
Yeah.
Man, I speak Hmong for all the Hmong.
Yes,
She named it to translate.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What job? No, beto no. Ya beto ne cheng no ya tu. Director who pay for who to job beto na na. E beto tu pen you no lu zan lu ji. Beto no ya chimo no je. Be chimo chua chimo kita. Thank you. Tao lên đó. Chỉ này ya này pa de tu za.
Oh, rất xa.
Be o ka lu cha. Pa ta nya lo wa lo i ya. Pa ta no ya pa ta no ya xiao. Ya tu no lu ne no lu o pe lu he ko lo nya cho. Ở đây chờ America hết rồi. Đó là cụ pa mang ít tù có lụa ha. Sau này bắt đầu liền to bỏ Alaska to. Béo bé tù nó mà on tù rồi tù lũ Philip. Nó bé mong nó tù kiến chơi làm gì? Bé chơi tuần chỉ Philip có Philip mong America lũ bé có bé chấm béo có America có lên nụ cho bé. Giờ này nó cụ pa mang bé tôi im ba mà chỉ cho chỗ này. Họ nói giờ ít họ bên chờ nữa, bên chờ thì chả bên chờ là này phải bỏ to là tao bao nhiêu xong chữ luôn là, nông nói giờ nông chỉ hết cho bên mông họ bên ba America ở chỗ đó, giờ này nông mà cái mông bên cho bao nhiêu mà chỉ tao bên chủ, cho các tôi hà tu huấn tu nó tôi phải lên nữa chủ cho bên mông làm bị cho nó mà ít lúc không cho ít lúc không, nông nó mấy mông mông chế mấy lấy bùa ta. Có tiêu có giờ, sao nó lúc sáng nó giờ ta luôn nó biết tao chỉ Philip, America đấy, nhưng mà cho biết mình chỉ còn được con người tôi hà lúc tháng, giờ này cũng bắt đầu ba mang tôi cho, chỉ chơi giờ Philip, thank you, sau này nó biết cho mong nhau thua là hắn cho tôi,
用先这个都，
别路符合的，
这个叫电脑这个北面环境用到在哪？用先个找北街，
没弄大了，到电脑。bây giờ mua ăn chỉ bây giờ mua tụi nó bây tụi này tơ bây tụi nó chỉ bây tụi sẽ nó mà nó nó lúc tí chờ nó lúc con nó cho không cả nhau giờ này nó mà bây cho tụi YouTube Philip đó giờ này 哎，等那把满红了就飞来了就 OK， 棒 OK， 我这哎要来那边头啊，被鸟笼的个被说的那干样上被叫飞来被忙了哈，哎让想到哎不路了，thank you。
家具只能听那被ดูthời gian là thời gian tao hay chúng ta lại bây giờ hai cái là cụ tháo cho tháp lý ý dạng cầu để bên gì này rồi bên tụ thời gian để bên mong ý dạng tụ tự lưu tên rồi là để cho và bên bỏ cái tại chỉ nó bây giờ ý cho mình còn chua ý cho phong tê phong chờ bên tàu pha là thằng bà hai bị cà rồi để rồi bên chân này tua cái bộ phá tụ này giờ lên đó chỉ một thứ ba pe chủ yếu tụ nói giờ tụ ba pe tụ nó tụ lũ pe tụ nó tụ chua pe giờ họ sẽ có chơi pe phụ thôn nữ còn nữ ba đường kia chuột kia thằng kia ba pe giờ lên đó nó pe số là pe họ giờ đi mua tiền gì nó cha họ đó cũng mua cứ chỉ năng giờ này phun tụ chỉ này phun tại tua lại là chúa này của tu nhau bây giờ nào bây giờ kia chia là nửa giờ tu cho bây giờ kia bây luôn năng giá tổng thể mà nó cha con đời của tháo của trò rồi thì nó tan cho nên cho mình bơ tan làm cho cứ cho ti cho niệm giờ lo cho lên số tu tiếp cho tôi đây tôi giờ bảo làm số làตัวnó nói vềตัวเขาnó giờ vì vềตัวchi tên là tên chủ và mua tháp phí lý của tu cho bê kia bê rồi cho bê một chuột cho hồ kế bê và tên chia sẻ vì bê tôi này giờ vì lý cha bê tôi này giờ vì là ta bà America có bê nào là của trò thầu trâu chỗ ít ra xa chỗ chứ bê cho nên tôi là ta nói thì chỉ cho ta tôi lôi chỗ áp phá xa chỗ này rồi nó bê sở hữu thì chỉ cho chỗ bê phá áp phá này giờ liên đó bê cho nên tôi chống chặt rồi liên đó thầu bê kia thầu thấy tôi là nhìn nó lọt lia như là lia chừngตัวเกตัวเป็นจะหนึ่งต่อค่าตัวแหละครับพวกพัดตัวนั้นอย่าลืมเด้อเป็นตัวเทสเราต่อเปล่าเจ้าของเนาะเป็นจะยังจริงมึงว่าจะฟ้ากันชิมัวอีลูยังอีลูชวนนอชิมัวมองนอยังหารงหาจุอย่าลืมเป็นอุดมสาเป็นตัวเชี่ยเกินเก่าชิมัวอีหยาจิบพอต่ออย่าลืมเด้อนู้นเป็นตัวเราอุดมเชี่ยชัดเลยคอนเดอร์ให้เดียเป็นตัวน่ะเป็นตัวกงเชี่ยกงจุเป็นตัวชี้หายเป็นตัวชี้ท้อมัวเป็นตัวข้าฟิลินเนาะอยู่เอาตัวแน่นำท้อเต้นเนาะเด็กจูnó pe cho tu trò pe tu cho nó tập lâu trở dụng đi thổi hiện tại giờ lên chúa tụ của liền đây thế pe nó cho chỉ bao để nhau bị trở tụ đây là mà vả thế chia sẻ hay được nư vô tụ thọ và tụ hai thêm bài đầu luôn còn luôn thì máu chúa pe vì pe tổ ba là thằng mà mình cả là liền tiền chia là ra giờ lên tới giờ pe dùng ship hồng hai ok cho ok mình thà phải đi một cứ chỉ năng cho nó vô hay cho pe một cái thiệt thôi thì giờ lên tới ở đây sẽ được trâu để nó này tuột xì tuột thua giờ vì mua cứ mà ở tủ mua xe ở tủ lu này cho này kia này mỏ chân ba chỉ nhẹ chỉ xia cho này tuột chỉ thôi nó họ ở đây sẽ trâu thế cứ mà trâu nó
trâu ta
thank you thank you
Okay, we have I think we'll conclude this little briefing, the briefing here in the U.S. Senate and the welcoming part of this. And we're going to ask you to turn off your cameras, and we're going to now conduct business. There can be no photography in the congressional offices. So once you step inside the door, you have to turn off your cameras when we're in meetings with the staff. They want generally their privacy when they're speaking frankly to us about things. If it's a public event with the congressman, for example, Senator Klobuchar will be greeting us here. She's slated to greet us here at 11:30. Case, I'm sure she'd be happy if you would want to, take pictures. But okay, so now we're gonna shut off our cameras, please, and we're gonna move to our meeting. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna try to get the room number.
He's gonna make one final remark.
Oh, okay, okay.
Một trong tàu và cùng dùng xe để mua Philip Smith kia xe bạc chiều tua của châu chập đời giờ người ta bán ma châu chập chả và
dia padan over dia padan facility ada yang ikut misalnya tu si kong kan Rusia 我做真他这个经济家的乌他哈的跟หมอ的เนี่ยเจอ真他跟ผู้จัดการ这个ตัวนั้นเนี่ยกูป่าเจริญนาอยู่แล้วพี่จะปัญญากูตัวจงพอสมควรอีกข้อ Rusia เปียกับชิ้นเท่านี้เนาะอันนั้นอีกข้อจะแจ้งเป็นตัวสตาร์ทชีละเป็นตัวลูกเป็นตัวโน้ตไม่รู้ตื่นหรือยังเต้นหรือเป็นซื้อ我家了，有些个是了，我可能跟这还大出家了，就我家去，那个别是了，那个要让我今年碰上来，别人可能今年碰到是不一样，是了，ตัวนี้ตัวใหญ่ตัวอย่างตัวรถไฟแล้วก็จะการมันจะมาทันเจก็ทีนี้คนเราว่าฉันเลยเชื่อฉันเลยอยู่ก็18 19เกณฑ์แต่แล้วก็ว่าที่เราที่อยู่เชื่อเราอยู่ก็ปอบเป็นตะเกียงคืออย่างเป็นจะที่เราตาเลยส่วนเป็นเชื่อเลยเนาะแล้วก็เป็นชิดูได้เป็นเท่าพระวรดูเป็นเท่าไซวรดูcái chuyện này do rồi là bay bờ lúc còn hậu trừ rồi tới mông chi lùi sư ở còn hậu này có đẹp ta là cái ba phương chỉ là cái tăng lúc nào cũng là đồng chí có tăng là cái đồng chí cũ rồi lúc nào bây giờ là còn ok đến lúc nào bỏ thì bên mong dành tận đây bây giờ một để thì đi hay đó cũng hậu thì lúc trừ là cái trừ là ok là bây giờ với lúc collision thì có ok có lúc đây cũng lúc bây giờ là với lúc collision này có bên mấy tụi cho bây giờ thấy tụi cho này là chỉ ở trong bên trong cái bài bây giờ tụi nó cho ở trong để họ rồi tụi cho thì nó cũng hậu nó gặp với nhau ok còn bây giờ có kia hậu tiền bây giờ nó tiền rồi là bây giờ là bao nhiêu rồi rồi sẽ lo để cả trường chỉ kiến là hay dùng là bên của tàu này chỉ là cả bên tàu ít là lúc nó là cho là cái chuyện gì cả chứ bây giờ tàu chỉ cho là kia để khả năng gì khả năng mình sẽ khả năngว่าอยู่บนเป็นตัวชงสิ่งที่ท่านคนละคนจะ
เชื่อเป็นจอห้าคนมาที่ทองแต่ชุดว่าเราเนี่ยจอห้าคนมาแต่ชุดเราที่เราตั้งเราเป็นโจเสียจานยกันเก่าจานยอลาสกาที่เราจอจานมันต้องเราเป็นตัวเราอยากจ้าสุดท้ายแต่จ้าเป็นตัวตัวที่จ้าแต่จะเป็นโจชาเขาเลยมาอย่างนั้นเราเชื่อชอบเราห้องนอนนี่เชื่อตัวต้องบุญนอนพอนอนใหญ่เขาจะเหลือเป็นตัวน้อยอีเขาสอดสุดตรงห้องนอนเนี่ยมาช่วยยาอีเทียยุ่งอย่างนี้ฮะช่วยยา要做点น้อยเนี่ยเราเที่ยว给你讲就是มาดูเชื่อเราจะเขาที่เชียอีจี要ดีเทลนั่นแหละอีจะเป็นแบบนั้น
给了一只不太的这样。
我讲的了，今天是的。
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Very good. Of course.
by the leader of the delegation from Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Of course.
Very good.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. So,
it's a very large Minnesota contingent.
this is
All your
really,
constituents.
yes, they're everywhere. So anyway, well, why don't I guess good to see you. Well, I am just so honored. Oh, how are you? It's such an honor to see all of you. Yes, you want to say yes? It's just an honor to be here with everyone. I think you know how important our Hmong veterans are to our country, to the world, really, for everything you did. And I have always believed that when you signed up and your friends and relatives signed up to help our country, there wasn't a waiting line, right? They just wanted you to help. And then when you're in the United States of America, there shouldn't be a waiting line. When you want to have the proper burial in one of our cemeteries, when you need help of any kind with employment or education. And so that has always been my position. And as you know, I'm on the bills, the legislation that would be change some of the situations on a big resolution. And we're really trying to keep continuing to bring this to people's attention, because people just want to close their eyes sometimes to the past, and that's not what we should be doing here, because I always think if you close your eyes to the past, then you don't have your eyes open to the future, and you don't see things when they develop and how we treat people and how we respect people who have helped us internationally. So I want to thank you for that. Many of the Minnesotans know that when my daughter was in school, she went to a school that was almost all Hmong children in the Minneapolis, and so she grew up with many Hmong friends, many of them second or even third generation. I still remember going to the birthday party of one of the girls and going into the house, the Hmong household, where the mom couldn't speak English, but all over plastered on every single wall were the perfect attendance records of her 3 daughters. And to me, that was such a symbol of how the Hmong have been such a critically important part of our economy in our state and in our country, and how you come from the most war-torn, horrific situation and have come to our country and have built lives and made lives better for your children. So I thank you for that. And it's just been an honor to represent a state. I was kidding him. I always say that Minnesota has the biggest Hmong population. It's not quite true. It's California, but they don't count because they're just so big, I think. But we have the biggest per capita Hmong population, the home of the first Hmong legislator, and so many Hmong elected officials. And we are very excited that the Hmong Lao work to set up the statue in St. Paul. There's going to be a groundbreaking, I know, this weekend for this new statue that the governor and the state worked so hard to fund. I actually even gave some money for my campaign, I remember, to make sure that we have that statue on a state basis to commemorate the Hmong and everything, and the Lao veterans and everything that you have done. So it is just an honor to be here with all of you. And last thing I would say is we're continuing to work on some of the refugee issues that are so difficult with Thailand, and continuing to do everything we can to bring people to America. I'm a big believer in bringing in refugees. I think that is so much a part of our country's past and our future. We stand on the shoulders of those that came before us, and so many of them were refugees like the Hmong. And so we hope that we can continue to work on these refugee issues.
Todd Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, I didn't know he was interpreting.
Yeah, I'll do my best real quick. Cô rong sẽ tỏ giải này ít trong những cái tên trả tua cho Washington DC nữa. Cô ấy học sinh chapter. Nếu cô thả cho thì bé Hmong lo chính trị thọ mua hàng một trò lo hơn đầu hay chụp chân hàng một nông cái cho tới chỉ mấy cái nó vì liên đã thọ đi hay lúc tây lúc chiều sẽ thành cái long bé Hmong tàu của thọ nè cho block của thợ lo chùa béตัวcho tới chỉ mấy cái nó lo chùa tàu thử chùa sư một sản sản bé Hmong giờ vì họ bé Hmong tự chính trị cho lúc tây lúc chiều nó你用写着看到还装的做家里弄的这recognition 标准了你一度抽天你都没别人做好天你用写发一老路呢都那些的你别看到呢แต่你都你二吨菜了二吨米牛กูมูnhớ cho mình nhà của sĩ cũng một cần đâu cần đây là chấp bây giờ tu lộn xài lộn mong đầu cái phong dung đâu lỡ là chưa tới rồi tiền muốn nó ilu cộng trong rồi tôi tu tụm nhỏ Hmong để hay ni do cá cho hay tiệt tụ lăng nhà lăng chân là tụm nhỏ tụm Hmong tụm môn ni cho mình nhiều khả năng là chọn được lúc tôi dần hay tiệt chỉ khai inu cần đó là ít hoa tiệt nữ bỏ hay tiệt bên Hmong để hay chơi cho bên chui bên cho mình tụm nhiều những lăng nhà thằng đây thì họ bên nhau lúc đây thì nó là bên do ít khỏi thì do cộng đồng lúc đây lúc thì nó khó sang theo phát triển lúc năng nhà tận đây trái lưng sự thiết kế trái lưng cần mường trái lưng ở trên trong xe tàu trái này cho nó số tổ cáiตัวเลยให้รู้สังเกตสังมินสุดเลยในโรงเชื้อต่อใจในชัวร์เลยสุด
I hope he said everything right. My best story about a translation was at one of the Hmong festivals in Minneapolis, or it was in St. Paul. I think I stood up and I started speaking, and the young man who came up with me, you remember this? I give my thing, and then he gets up and he starts giving my speech in English. And I'm like, this is the worst for a politician that you are so hard to understand. They have to translate in English. So
yeah. Thì cô chưa ý khó cô lại hay tao lâu trong này hay tiệt là hay lối rồi ít tu lúa cô là sơn để sao tức là vì con này tới hay luồng kỹ chỉ tu luồng được hay luồng kỹ thay này cho luồng kỹ hay tao sẽ cái con này chưa hay thì cái đan này trong kia.
Very good, very good.
Hey, Senator, this is the president of the Lao Veterans of America, and he wanted to just say a few words to you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
And to the group.
Yes.
He's the organizer of the buses.
Oh, very good. I'm just so glad you're all here. Yes.
Thank you.
ก็อาจจะเป็นมีกบฏอย่าเป็นตัวเซนเตอร์ผมเป็นเรื่องตรงนี้คนสิแต่นั่นเราจะนอนตัวตามเราเป็นหมดจอตัวอะไรเป็นสามตัวชี
Madam Senator, I had the Minnesota delegation here today, 60 strong delegation, a busload. Our wishes came true today because we wanted to meet and greet you today in person in the area.
มีก็มาใช้ถึงมีเรื่องร้องเป็นตัวจริงในเรื่องบริจาค
I know that the French mission is strong and vibrant, and we hope to continue to expand and enhance that friendship.
เราตัวอเมริกันประมาณเท่าไหร่ว้ายอย่างนี้ยังก็หมดอีกสิ
Many people ask me, Bamatel, why are you going to DC?
I actually understood that. That was good. Yeah.
เป็นหมดอีกสิเป็นหมดอีกสิมายังไงเดียวเป็นหมดเหรอเป็นจะมองที่อเมริกาที่เราแบบคนเรียนอะไรก็จ้องที่ตอนนี้ตัวอเมริกาอนุญาตตัวที่ได้เชียร์ที่จ้องตัวตัวเป็นนู้ชื่อในตรงนี้ที่เขาชื่อเยอะนู้แม่มาเด็กๆตัวเป็นเจ้าในมองเป็นอเมริกาเป็นตัวสุด
So his response to that question was, we're going to DC to honor all the veterans for their sacrifice and contributions. And secondly, here at Arlington, we have a war memorial in a tree. And so tomorrow, exactly, marks the 40th anniversary of the fall of the end to these people. So that's why we're here.
Number one, people know, people don't know, people don't know. If it's a sample, look at your number, Senator. How long will it be? Saib, big young male, big pound, big
and lastly, all of our veterans are aging now. Very happy days. And so we're here in person, not only to meet you, but other members of Congress to ask for your support for your team and recognition of this work.
น้องตอนที่มาที่เราเป็นอีกคนที่ก็คือก็คือเราก็ต้องประสิทธิ์ดังมากสำหรับโมกุล
So it's a personal story. This is before he became international football. We did not know him personally, but after the events, rising leadership with me, just one person. Okay, Senator Gucci, she does not have enough time, so this is all we're going to do. This is all we're going to do.
And are you doing an event out at Arlington?
Yes,
a memorial? Oh, wonderful. I wish, yes, I won't. I'll be back in Minnesota. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, yes. We're very glad. I was proud to put my name on that legislation. So.
This is all we're going to do.
Okay. Should we do a picture with them?
Why doesn't everybody line up the way we did earlier, please?
How do you do? I always say that one of the Hmong veterans during the Secret War that there be thousands more American names on the wall on the mall. How is the thing of our counseling? Unfortunately, I'm not on it. So thank you again. Thank you.
That was Senator Al Frank.
Right? Yeah. You want to say anything to them? Yeah. Hello. Welcome. This will be fun. She's the one not directionally challenged, so she's great to have around.
Okay. Do you have time to say hi to Pastor Lee? Or
Yes.
Do you have to run immediately?
No, because I'm with you guys. Is he? Are they? Is it? Everybody's not here yet?
Oh yeah.
Hello. Welcome.
This is,
Okay, that's fine.
some of the Hmong news media here from Tuam TV and radio from Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
And I think there's a few people joining us from Rep. Costa's district. They're going to be meeting us over there from on the house side. She shot me an email, Christina Solberg.
Oh, okay.
They're just going to meet us over there. They have passes. They've scheduled it for them, but they're just meeting up.
Are there some other constituents coming?
Yes. We're going to go outside, and we have to cross over to the visitor center. And we're going to have to come back through security one more time so we can get in the gallery. And we're going to walk quickly so we can be ready to go by 2:30. Okay?
Hải bao lâu luôn hả?
Chúng là đầu xe và nó chỉ là nó thì lâu vậy. Cho nên là tan cho bây giờ cột lâu tan bây giờ cũng tôi cho nóจะพัฒนาเป็นตัวที่ถ้าคนนี้ไปอยู่ตัวอาจจะไปทำเบียร์ไปต่อป้ามีการวัดชอบจอดทุละเลยต้องมาไปเที่ยวตัวจงเกินก่อน
What I need to take is the 15.
Okay, we're going to go through this way. Okay.
Go back This is the groups that came from Wisconsin, Minnesota, we've got Alaska, Oklahoma, and California.
本来还是这样。
You're the new president, leader. Okay, let's come over here. More over here. Like this, it's easy for everyone to hear. And so, and our friend here will translate. And so, and then if you have some questions, be happy to try to answer them.
Jim Casa, I up a lot of beta, Yanimolo Nula near they up a lot of Takamu.
Okay. First of all, welcome all of you to our nation's capital. This capital belongs to all of us. For over 240 years, this capital has been the beacon throughout the world of freedom. As I've told some of you before, we are a nation of immigrants, past and present. It's immigrants from over 200 years that have come to this country from all over the world that have made America the great nation it is today. Therefore, the story of America is the story of immigrants. And it's your story as well. And that's one of the reasons that I have such great heart and enjoy working with you, because your families remind me of my family. My grandparents came to this country in 1897 and 1904. With not much more than the clothes on their back. Does that sound familiar? None of them spoke English. Does that sound familiar? 3 out of the 4 of them were illiterate their entire lives. In other words, they could not read or write. When my grandparents in 1904 on my mother's side came to Hanford, California, not in their wildest dreams would they imagine that 100 years later their grandson would be a member of the House of Congress.
tụ lu tụ làm nhớ sớ là qua ít tụ bút thân ít tụ nói ít tụ chữ hậu lu tây chữ mi cả
They came in 1904. I was elected in 2004.
แล้วตัวถอยอีกเจ้าตัวเที่ยวเปล่าพอเนื้อมาโจไซน์เนื้อเป็นเสียงถอยเอาเที่ยวเปล่าอีกผู้ชมก่อน
I can promise you that was not on their mind when they came to this country.
เนื้อยังเจ้าตัวรู้นะแต่เขาได้แล้วยัง有จิตศาสตร์ให้เดียวแล้วยังไม่อีตัวเขาเลยจริงๆยังเชื่อเราว่าหนาวจืด
They just wanted to have an opportunity to do better for themselves and their families than where they came from, which were the Azores Islands off the coast of Portugal that were very poor.
แล้วตัวได้เชื่อนะเชื่อวิลิจาแล้วตัวเชื่ออีลูนั่งแล้วปีอีลูนั่งเชื่อมัวน้ำมัวเขามัวเนี่ยมัวเจียแล้วตัวอีเจ้าก็คือเอซัวตัวลูได้เชื่อนะ
They're out in the middle of the Atlantic. I was just there this weekend. They're 800 miles off the coast of Portugal.
จะก็นำมาเลยให้ย้อนตัวเฮ็ดซื้อแอตแลนติกเนอะญี่ปุ่นมาแต่ลูกได้เจ็บโปรตุเกสจะก็ไม่มีส่วน
Small islands, very small. So I tell you that story because in that sense, my story is not that much different than your story.
แค่กูจะได้หนึ่งนะตัวนี้พอเดียวกูยังจังต่อแต่กูจะได้หนึ่งจิตใจนี่จะได้หนึ่งเทียม
I'm just 2 generations later.
กูจะ要รออัพพอแล้วก็คือ
So imagine what your children and what your grandchildren will be able to achieve, and some of them may be in Congress.
กูสาก่อนในสายเดียวในจะมีตู้มีหยอแล้วในจะสร้างสร้างซื้อยาตอนเดียยังมัวปังสื่อหมดเลยจ้าเรายังมัวรู้นั่งรองหมดเลยจ้ายาตอนเดีย
That's America was then, and it still is today, a land of opportunity.
ยาตาลูกเตยเชนกูได้มัวดาวจ้างดาวยาปีหายจบแล้วไม่เป็นสิ่งลูกเตยลูกเชื่อแต่ฉันเลยนึกยังเลยยาลูกเตยเชื่อยังเป็นที่กระจงดาฟัวโดยอีจงแล้วไม่เป็นสิ่ง
That's not to say that we don't have our challenges and we don't have our problems, because we do.
คนได้ชิดเอาใจให้เตียไปจะทัวรู้นั่งยังจุดเตยเชื่อมีการนอยกาเชียดียิ่งมัวเตยเต้นเหม่งดียิ่งมัวเตยปัญหานอนดาวจะไปรู้นั่งยังจุดเตยเชื่อมีการนอเทีย
I was just in a meeting, a classified meeting that I can't talk a lot about on Vietnam.
ผู้ควาเลิศแต่อีลูกจงประสุมรอนอเกียเกี่ยวจอแล้วถัดจอเตยเชื่อเนี่ยล่ะ
We have this big trade agreement that a number of Asian countries want to be a part of with us as opposed to with China.
มัวอีจะเกิดถ่ายแต่ยาชิจะเกิดพงยิวว่าเราว่าหลัวเราอย่าให้วันนี้ว่าเสียระวังจะได้เชื่ออาเซียที่ได้เชื่อมีการน้องสาได้เชื่อชัวร์的是
But in this trade agreement with these 10 Asian nations, Vietnam, Japan, New Zealand, and others, but with Vietnam, we will not agree unless they address human rights, allow people to organize, become members of unions, release their political prisoners, and other standards that they must first meet before we will allow them to have access to trade with America.
ระวังแต่ก่อลูกเตยเชื่อดูเขาเลยก่อลูกเตยเชื่ออาเซียนชุดมัวเต้นเหม่งจะเตยเชื่อเนี่ยลาวิพายเดียไปเตยเชื่อผู้มัวหล่อลูกขี้ให้เดียอยากจุดตัวมัวเรื่องนับถือ human right เราอยากว่าเขาชื่อว่าเก่งจังยังตัวเป็นสิ่ง
freedom of religion
เก่งจังตัวละศาสนาอยากจุดตัวขี้ด่าหัวตัวอีจงแล้วไม่เป็นสิ่งเราจอใจตัวแล้วไม่เป็นสิ่งที่ชาวว่าป้าว่าเปิดเจอเลยเราจะเก่งจัง
For those of you who are a member of the SGR, for those of you who immigrated to this country after President Ford signed the 1975 executive order, you know what it is personally to live in a communist state or a communist dictatorship.
นี่เจ้าเนี่ยสิคือตั้งใจถอรู้ใจเช่นโยประชาชนจีนได้ถอ President Ford ใส่ใจจอในตัวสัญญาในเขียนได้เชิญ 那开地的这个厉害都应约制造我陪到那应包还的这个被都应约空贴住对路住了没事容易的。
You and your families came here under very difficult circumstances, but you came here to escape that communist rule.
那天那真能开多他那多都在前面干了，老只要为了家为好的那开个地那做些个那莫些我也懂的。
We know this treaty, if successful, will not change Vietnam overnight.
nếu trong xe thì cho sinh nhà là ta tại hành đó tới chuyện như là nó nhưng nhớ chỉ long như là tác kỳ.
But today we have leverage over them because they want to benefit from open trade with America.
Thì khi cho sinh nhà nó là cho chạy nó khi họ thì bây giờ khi khi lù là khi cho lù là mua bây giờ lù nào một khi to là thập bản như là thì
These are still under negotiations, and it will be before the end of the year before we see what happens. But I wanted to talk to you about something else as well. How many here are from Minnesota? Raise your hand. Oh, many. How many are from California? More Minnesotans than Californians. Yes. Well, from all of you, obviously. But today...
Wisconsin too.
Wisconsin, I'm sorry. That's right, Wisconsin, Minnesota, they're right together, so you can be across the river. Yeah, you're across the river. Today, we reintroduced the recognition of the Vietnam Veterans Act. Congressman Paul Cook, a Republican, and myself are trying to put the same bipartisan effort that we've had in previous Congresses. When's the Senate introducing their bill?
Today.
They did too?
About an hour ago or 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay, the Senate has entered.
They met with Senator Murkowski earlier.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you know what the Senate has done today.
You know at the Senate, yeah, Senator Murkowski to Senator Shipet in your ball on the chaplain.
I think in this Congress we have the best opportunity than ever before to do what's right, and that is to honor you and your families who participated and fought side by side with the Americans during the Vietnam War.
Cho nên nếu lúc xưa xã mà lỡ sút là tháp ban ta xin nó qua âm na nên chẳng to hay tiệt, giờ lúc xưa hở lại chạy nhung hay tiệt bây giờ chạy nó giờ pan.
How many members here were part of the former SGU? Raise your hand. Wow.
He's the president. He's all the presidents of the organization, so even though there's not as many from California, he represents about 5,000 veterans.
I'm so thankful for each and every one of you who fought and stood side by side with our American soldiers. I cannot thank you enough.
Super rồi tha hẳn như cả thổ sông tham gia lan đó cú anh ấy sẽ được trong năm đầu thế giờ này trên nên chỉ ta chỉ cần.
We estimate that there are about 6,000 of you that are still alive, still living.
Bây giờ hai tiệt ta chỉ nói kia chỉ mua la vang lên đó trâu phá tổ cố tổ tròi chỉ một số xe nhỏ nên nó nó.
And we know one thing for sure, like myself, you're not getting any younger.
thế bây giờ bao ý là nên nói hay tiệt
Speak for yourself.
bây chỉ là loa thì bây chỗ lâu rồi là sư.
All right? Yes.
Yeah.
So there are many reasons why we must do everything we can to be successful in this Congress.
Vì lần đó nếu muốn đón đầu giờ hay bây giờ tàu cú xe theo mỏ xe tàu cha chạy nó đó là suốt ở tháp bản ta xin nó.
You know what the legislation does. It gives appropriate honor and respect for those who served to be honored with you and your families as a final resting place in an American national cemetery.
Thế nhưng mà cho khó lựa hồ cha chạy nóยังhay tiệt cho cô tu cho SU là thổ tư là ta sử năng là ít phú của nó ngồi trong cho chạy đồ là mù thì hay nhỏ đồ cho toàn ra National Cemetery.
This is the same honor we gave Filipino soldiers who fought with the Americans during World War II.
Dùng lý tí à, bên mua kiệt là mình mỏ đồ cho Philippines thổ là cụ tàu cục tề thì nation là cục tề đó bên.
General Vang Pao, your father, and I had many conversations about the importance of this.
Vì thân này phun va bó thế nữ tục khen cụ tàu sĩ thẩm đô rồi là cho khó chật chân để cho chạy nó.
He said, Jim, do everything you can to try to make this happen for my comrades, my fellow soldiers.
Chỉ thân phun nhưng hai trâu phụ thân Jim Costa hay thế, có trâu xe mò xe walk họ nó chịu xí, trâu cụ cho lên mấy percent, cụ cho mấy tụi mình nhiều hơn thôi.
I promised him I would do everything I could.
Phụ thân Jim Costa, cụ tàu cho luôn ra bên chỉ thân phun va bó thế, nhiều xí rồi tàu luôn nữaว่าba họ nó có chịu xí.
So your presence here as supporters of this legislation is very important.
Nụ nó này châu lên trong tua chuyện gì chuyện mua tua thân cả qua đồ nữ rong xe cần cầu thế những dân tỏi để có mua rong cho cha chạy nó thiết họ được cái đi nó mới nhắc đến.
So I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you first for your service to our nation. Thank you for the contributions you are making in our communities. And thank you for being here today.
Nếu saoวันนี้ทั่วเรื่องส่วนตัวจงนนตัวเนกูตัวเสียสละตัวลูกเตลูเชอนี่ตัวเจนจีรอที่จัดยังตัวลูกเตลูเชอเทียยังเนี่ยน้องเป็นว่าสัญชาติตัวลูกเตลูเชอน้องเนี่ยเชิงกับลูกเตลูเชอวันนี้ช่วยตัวจงนน
เจ้าขอบใจหลาย Thank you.
You're here today, I believe, in part for your children and your grandchildren.
กูยิงจังเชียต่อยเดียอีขอในตัวนู้นเนาะในเชียวัดตัวเนี่ยที่สิ่งในสาจรเนี่ยจะมีตัวมีอยู่จะสร้างจือเราอยากใจนั่น
When your children and your grandchildren ask a generation from now how their grandparents came here and what they did and why they came here, the story of the Hmong soldiers will be a critical and a key part of why they became Americans.
นึกจังตัวแต่ยังมออินูเนี่ยจะมีตัวมีอยู่เราจะสร้างสังสือเราจะยังจะอยู่เราแล้วการเดินยันนูเนี่ยให้เตียเรายันนูเราลูให้เตียแล้วพอเราเยอะแล้วเนี่ยแล้วสีแล้วให้แล้วใจหนึ่งเราเขาตื่นเราเนี่ยยังเต้ให้เตียเป็นมงจะเก่งเกลือเราเป็นมงจะได้หนึ่งยันทัวตัวจะมีตัวมีป้อให้เตียวิลิจ่าเป็นตัวเจ้าเต้เขียนเนาะเป็นมงอย่าลังตื่นเป็นมงจันจีมัวลงบริจาคเท่าลองบริจาค
So again, I want to thank you. This is where the Congress meets. This is the House of Representatives. That's the United States Senate. And every American president from President Monroe until President Reagan was sworn in on those steps for almost 200 years.
Thì nếu cô ta có vấn đề sự trong năm đó nếu sát tàu tệ hay là lúc chế bị cái này lúc chế cho phụ thânตัวsinh chế sinh thàพันใจhọ sát tàu chế một sân ấy lúc chế bắt ta bên mù rộng nhất họ tự lúc ôn đa nó nằm đây nó chỉ cho tụ bất than đầu tiên thì nó lấyตัวtrả tiền nữa nè vấn đề là tao là qua tụ lại cho tới chờ giờ lấy nhớ sở tụ là trả tiền trong lúc địa tế là giờ.
They asked President Washington in 1793, because he lived across the river, to pick the place where the Capitol would be built.
Thôi ít xa phố cho chỗ bé nữa. President George Washington cú nhớ to sắp bên đó là tụ chỉ để đó thì sự lớn nuôi thì các xã chỉ tra lúc tuổi trẻ Capitol nó nhớ to cả từ.
As you know, he was our first president.
Cho nên Paul George Washington nhớ về tụ bắt thành số thời trừ thế cả lúc tây lúc trời.
After the Revolutionary War, he was so loved by the people.
Có tôi cho là bắt bắt đó là cú dân anh kia nên Paul thì như tụ march tụ cú xe tụ lúc tây trời mình cả chia nào.
That they said of him, first in time of war.
Để thấu mua trả một trò là sao như tụ su thơ là sao một trò.
First in time of peace.
Cái tụ su thơ là thấu một cái yêu phèn là sĩ nữ là chỉ cho nữ.
And first in the hearts of his nation.
Thì họ lúc xe luôn rồi để sẽ nhớ tụi tây chờ mình cả nó như tụi thi y nhớ tụi họ lúc xe luôn rồi.
So as a young man, he rode horses all around. This was all woods, and he knew this area very well. He was a surveyor as a young man.
Thấu tây phải chờ nó như hành động phá lý phá suy chỉ ní chạy nâng cụ gì thanh trạng là khó nó.
So he liked this hill because he knew if we built the Capitol on the hill, it would be seen miles and miles away.
Chỉ có chờ nó cụ giờ ít nhiều trong mẹ như nhưng bao nhiêu tiền giờ là chỉ tao lúc chơi Capitol nó chỉ nhớ số lúc trong chỉ sau đó nhớ đây giờ bỏ hay là nhớ trong từ.
You hear the term Capitol Hill?
Vì linh đó nên tên nó lo lưu bị cái hay là Capitol Hill.
Well, it's built on a hill.
Vì linh đó là một tiền linh đó khó để lúc chơi nó rõ số lúc mình trong.
You can see that better when you go around the other side of the Capitol.
Chỉ cho nên gì một ở xa thì nên bỏ hay tiền vì cũng nhớ xe rõ khó cả.
But he laid the cornerstone here in 1793 while he was president.
Để sĩ cho bác sĩ su thơ chỉ tao lúc chơi nó thôi ít xe xa bỏ cho chỗ bé chỉ cho.
Of course, the city didn't exist then; they were just building it.
Thổ lúc chạy đến chỉ tao mua lúc rõ nó liền, lúc copy sang lúc rõ nó thế này thôi ít xe xa bỏ cho chỗ bé.
The Capitol was first in New York and then Philadelphia.
Vấn đề là mà cho rõ đi hay trừ lúc tây trở lại cho rõ Capitol nhớ trong New York và Philadelphia.
They didn't move the Capitol here until they built enough buildings. When President Washington was no longer president, actually he had passed away.
Cái bắt thành George Washington chỉ một giờ xe bỏ nữa, những cái vấn đề thì thổ là chỉ tao lúc chơi nó, thì ở bên lúc chơi nó, là bởi nhai lúc Capitol ở trong lúc rồi.
Anyway, so they called it the Federal City at the time.
Thổ lúc chơi mà là một lúc rồi nó Federal City.
But everybody knew that when Washington passed away, they would name the federal city, the capital city, after the first president of the United States.
This is the time George Washington to ta chỉ nâng là cũng một lúc rồi nó ta cả tỷ Washington.
So now you have the history of how this all started. So again, thank you. And I'll answer. I've got another meeting I have to go to. But if you any quick questions, I'll be happy
to. Trong xe cần cầu cái công ty nữa mua tới cho mình trong xe đó thì khi khó hay thì bây cho thu trò quần hay trò cha phá tuổi này thì tuổi ta lo cho chúng nó thì tuổi ta mà bây ta bây cho nó bây chia xe hay thì New York ba cái cho thọ bây cho nó có tao y ở lưu lý nhiên nó vấn đề bây bà tuổi
President Richard wants to thank you again for giving us the time today to meet with you in person. It has made everyone very excited and happy. He just want to reiterate something and touch on that. You already know that the veterans are aging by the day. And,
yes, we're not getting any younger.
We will work together to get this recognition passed and these burial rights to, as the last rights for the veterans. So
I understand very clearly. First priority.
Yeah, she's actually a SGU veteran herself, but she says that she thanks you for all your kind and generous words today and for meeting and giving us the history of the entire city. But more importantly, it's to recognize the veterans for all their contributions that they have made. And she describes about the wounds, the bullet wounds, and all the mental illness that follows wartime itself. So, if possible, she would see if you could do anything to help with that.
Right. Well, I think it's first critical to get the recognition.
And then so she says that she represents the Wisconsin delegation. There are a few widows here. So now she feels like she's getting younger, not older.
I feel the same way. I call this Arctic blonde.
These were young soldiers. Living proof right here. This was him.
You hardly changed.
Yes, I still have my own picture.
Except you have Arctic blonde like I do.
Last question for Jim, and then we'll wrap it And Jim, he also wants to remind you that the reason why many of us are here for the legislation itself. Mark 40 years since the war, 40 years, new life, new beginning in America. So that's another reason why we're all
Very important to know. And I tomorrow you're going to be in Arlington, and I hope to, if the votes don't conflict, I hope to meet you out there.
So he stated that we're all here to support the bill itself and all those author data and code author data, and let us know if there's anything we can do for this.
We will, me and my staff, and it was good that you met with Murkowski today. And to the degree that tomorrow you can meet with some additional members, you've got the list, I'm sure.
Yes.
That is very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Yes, my pleasure. I'm coming home a week from Friday. Yeah. We have session tomorrow and Monday. So